Dear friend, here's a truth your brain doesn't want you to know. The pain of losing $100 feels twice as strong as the joy of gaining $100. This bias, called loss aversion, is hardwired into your biology, and in trading it can quietly destroy your results. You might think you are being rational when you close a winning trade too early or refuse to cut a losing position. But what's really happening is your brain is tricking you into protecting comfort instead of pursuing strategy. Beginners fall into this trap every day, selling winners to lock in profits while holding losers in the hope they'll turn around. Professional traders know the opposite. You cut losers fast and let winners run. Mark Douglas put it simply: you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. What matters is process, not comfort. And process begins with reprogramming the loss-averse brain. Dear friend, start building the trader's mindset today, because until you confront loss aversion, the market will always control you, not the other way around. Thousands of years ago, avoiding loss like not eating a poisonous berry kept us alive. But in markets, that same instinct backfires. Imagine a beginner watching a red candlestick on his screen. His body reacts as if he's in physical danger. Faster heartbeat, sweaty palms, shallow breathing. That's not trading, it's biology hijacking behavior. Instead of calmly following a plan, he reacts emotionally, often making the exact wrong choice. Professional traders, however, recognize this response for what it is: outdated survival wiring. They train rituals like deep breathing, journaling, and risk pre-commitments to calm the amygdala before it hijacks their trades. As Ray Dalio said, "He who lives by the crystal ball will eat shattered glass." It means guessing won't save you. Only discipline will. Loss aversion can't be eliminated, but it can be managed. That's the difference between being ruled by fear and ruling your fear. Loss aversion often shows up as holding and hoping. Beginners can't bear to close a losing trade because the moment they accept the loss, it becomes real. So they hold on, whispering, maybe it'll bounce back. Most times it doesn't. Their account bleeds slowly while they freeze in denial. Professionals take the opposite path. They know that a small loss is not failure, it's insurance. They treat cutting losses as the price of staying in the game. Think of a soccer goalie. He doesn't save every shot, but he positions himself so losses stay small. Alexander Elder once said, "The goal of a successful trader is to make the best trades. Money is secondary." For pros, admitting loss is strength, not weakness. Beginners see it as defeat, but pros see it as discipline. By reprogramming how you interpret loss, switching from emotional pain to professional feedback, you transform your edge. Loss aversion shifts from enemy to teacher. Another way loss aversion sabotages traders is by making them exit winners too early. The beginner enters a trade, sees a small green profit, and his brain screams, "Take it now," before it disappears. He exits, feels relief, but later watches the chart soar without him. The pain of missing out feels less than the imagined pain of losing what he had. So he accepts crumbs instead of meals. Professionals, however, invert this logic. They know winners are rare and must be maximized. They design rules, trail stops, partial exits, scaling methods, all rituals that allow them to stay in profitable trades longer than their emotions want. Warren Buffett explained it simply: the stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Patience isn't passive, it's the courage to let profits breathe while ignoring the brain's loss-averse panic. A pro's ritual is trusting the system more than the survival instinct. To fight loss aversion, professionals rely on pre-commitment rituals, decisions made before emotions rise. They define risk per trade, set stop losses, and write their maximum daily drawdown before they ever click buy. This way, when the brain screams in panic, the rules are already in place. Beginners often skip this step, believing they'll figure it out in the moment. But in the heat of trading, the brain is a terrible negotiator. It chooses comfort over consistency. Paul Tudor Jones famously said, "The most important rule of trading is to play great defense, not great offense." Defense is built in rituals, not reactions. By committing early, professionals transform loss aversion into a controlled variable, not a wild force. Dear friend, start building the trader's mindset today. Subscribe now and learn how to pre-program discipline before emotion even arrives. Many beginners swear they know their risk, but when emotions hit, their decisions betray them. Think of a trader who promises himself he'll never risk more than 2% per trade. The plan looks good on paper, but the moment he sees a promising setup, his brain whispers, "This one looks different. Risk more." Suddenly 2% becomes 5%, then 10%. If it wins, he feels brilliant. If it loses, the account takes a heavy blow, and fear begins to dominate. This is how accounts spiral downward. Not because the trader lacked strategy, but because loss aversion rewired the plan under pressure. Professionals stop this cycle with rituals of consistency. They write down position size, stop placement, and max risk before trading begins. No negotiation, no improvisation. It's like a pilot running through a checklist before takeoff, safety before excitement. Warren Buffett put it best: risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Pro traders know exactly what they're doing because they pre-commit to boundary. The ritual is boring, but boredom saves accounts. Loss aversion thrives in improvisation. Discipline thrives in ritual. That is why pros build risk into their DNA. But another way loss aversion destroys traders is by creating the illusion of getting. Beginners often double down on losing trades because their brain convinces them that recovering quickly will erase the pain. Imagine a trader who buys at $100, watches it fall to $90, and instead of cutting the loss, he buys more, telling himself, if it just goes back to $100, I'll break even. This isn't strategy, it's psychology begging for relief. Unfortunately, the market rarely rewards emotional bargaining. Prices often fall further, and the get-even mindset becomes a financial trap. Professionals never play this game. They accept small losses as tuition paid to the market. Instead of adding to losers, they focus on protecting capital for the next valid opportunity. Alexander Elder explained, "The market does not know you exist. You can do nothing to influence it. You can only control yourself. That control is lost the moment you chase break-even." Pros train daily rituals to reinforce this control, reviewing risk logs, setting firm stop-losses, and reminding themselves that hope is not a strategy. Breaking free from the break-even trap requires courage, the courage to say, "This loss is small, I'll learn and move on." Loss aversion also fuels FOMO, fear of missing out. While the fear of losing makes traders hold losers too long, the fear of missing a move makes them enter winners too late. Beginners often see a stock running higher, and their brain screams, "Get in now, before it's gone." They buy at the top, only to watch the market reverse. The pain of watching others profit feels unbearable, so they chase out of emotion, not logic. Professionals recognize FOMO as another face of loss aversion. It's not really about missing gains, it's about avoiding the pain of being left behind. That pain feels heavier than rational patience. To fight it, pros build rituals like reviewing planned setups every morning, setting alerts for price levels, and reminding themselves that opportunities are infinite, but capital is finite. Paul Tudor Jones taught, "Don't focus on making money. Focus on protecting what you have." Protecting capital means passing on trades that don't meet criteria, no matter how fast they're running. By reframing FOMO, professionals turn loss aversion into patience. They stop chasing, start waiting, and realize the market will always offer another train. Missing one is not fatal, but boarding the wrong one can be. Beginners often tie their self-worth to outcomes. A winning day means, "I'm smart." A losing day means, "I'm stupid." This roller coaster of self-esteem is exhausting, and over time it erodes confidence. Professionals reject this trap. They separate who they are from what the market does. To them, a losing trade is feedback, not judgment. They reinforce this mindset through rituals, affirmations, journaling, even reviewing past successes, to remind themselves they are more than today's result. Ray Dalio explained, "Pain plus reflection equals progress." Instead of avoiding the pain of loss, pros lean into it, reflect on it, and extract lessons. That ritual builds resilience. Imagine two traders, one loses and spirals into shame, the other loses and calmly writes, "I followed my plan. The market didn't agree to." One shrinks, the other grows. Loss aversion makes beginners personalize results. Professionals depersonalize them. This shift doesn't remove pain, it transforms it into strength. Over time, the ritual of separating identity from outcomes creates unshakable confidence. The ultimate defense against loss aversion is stillness before action. Beginners rush, they see movement, they react. Their brain whispers, "Do something now, or you'll lose." This urgency is not strategy, it's fear disguised as productivity. Professionals slow down. They pause before every trade, breathe and remind themselves, "I don't need to catch everything, I only need to catch what fits my plan." That pause interrupts loss aversion's grip. It creates space for logic to re-enter the room. Think of a chess grandmaster. He doesn't slam pieces down impulsively. He studies the board, imagines responses, then acts with precision. Trading is no different. Mark Douglas once said, "You must learn to think in probabilities, not certainty." Pausing reminds the trader that no single trade matters. Only the series does, and in that series, protecting capital matters more than chasing comfort. Dear friend, start building the trader's mindset today. Subscribe to the Trader Mindset channel, and commit to slowing down before you speed up. Loss aversion loses power the moment you take back control of time. Loss aversion does not vanish with experience, it evolves, often in hidden ways. Even advanced traders who survive the beginner phase may discover that fear of loss sneaks back into their system in subtler form. For example, a professional might develop a fear of giving back profits after a winning streak. Instead of following their plan, they begin to trade smaller, avoid valid setups, or overhedge position. On the surface it looks like caution, but beneath it, loss aversion has simply changed costumes. Beginners lose by overtrading. Veterans sometimes lose by undertrading. Both are products of the same psychological wiring. George Soros admitted, "I'm only rich because I know when I'm wrong." The real secret isn't eliminating fear, it's noticing it, naming it, and adapting. That's why professionals use end-of-day reflection rituals, not only to study charts, but to study themselves. They ask, where did loss aversion creep in today? Did it push me to act too fast, or hold me back? This ritual of self-auditing ensures that fear doesn't go unnoticed. In trading, the biggest danger isn't loss itself, it's the hidden patterns of loss aversion controlling you. Without your awareness, awareness breaks chains. Patience is often presented as a simple virtue, but under the lens of neuroeconomics, patience is a neurological reprogramming of loss aversion. The human brain is wired to value immediate relief over long-term growth. This is why beginners grab quick profits and hold on to losses. They seek short-term comfort, even if it sabotages the bigger picture. Professional traders understand this bias and deliberately rewire it. They practice delayed gratification not only in trading, but in life, waiting before responding to impulses, journaling instead of acting, sometimes even skipping trades for days until their edge appears. They see the market as a marathon, not a sprint. Warren Buffett famously said, "The stock market is designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient." In practice, patience is not passive. It's an active rejection of loss aversion's demand for immediate comfort. Each time a trader resists the urge to do something now, and instead waits for their setup, they are literally rewiring neural pathways. Over months and years, this transforms reactionary traders into professionals whose calm presence feels unshakable. Patience is not luck. It is a trained neurological edge. Beginners think discipline is about trying harder or being stronger, but professionals know it is about structure, not struggle. They don't rely on willpower, because willpower burns out when fear spikes. Instead, they design environments where discipline becomes automatic. This may include preset orders that lock in stops, scheduled breaks to cool emotions, or accountability partners who review trades. Alexander Elder explained, "The goal of a successful trader is to make the best trades. Money is second. Making the best trades means aligning behavior with process, not emotion." A beginner surrounded by distractions, Twitter feeds, noisy chat rooms, constant price alerts, has created an environment where loss aversion thrives. A professional curates silence, calm workspaces, and clear plans where loss aversion struggles to survive. Every checklist ticked, every journal entry written, every breath taken before execution is a ritualized weapon against loss aversion. Discipline is not the absence of fear. It is the system that keeps fear irrelevant. That's why professional traders appear calm, They built environments where fear cannot easily dictate choices. Loss aversion attacks confidence by making traders feel every loss is personal failure. Beginners ride this emotional roller coaster, feeling like geniuses on green days and fools on red ones. Professionals step off the ride. They build confidence not from outcomes but from consistent. They remind themselves daily, I cannot control the market, but I can control myself. Paul Tudor Jones said, don't be a hero, don't have an ego, always question yourself and your ability. Notice this isn't arrogance, it's humility that creates strength. Rituals like affirmations, reviewing past successes, and tracking discipline over profits build deep-rooted confidence. Imagine a trader losing 3 trades in a row, yet still feeling strong because he knows he followed his plan perfectly. That is pro-level confidence. Loss aversion no longer dictates his self-worth, because he measures success by process, not dollars. Over time, this mindset compounds like capital. Every ritual builds trust. Every trusted day builds identity. Confidence becomes not a feeling but a fact. I do what I said I would do. That is how pros stay steady when others break. Dear friend, by now you can see that loss aversion is not just a psychological quirk. It is the invisible enemy woven into every decision. It convinces you to hold losers, cut winners, chase break-even, panic in fear, and hesitate in success. But you've also seen how professionals fight back with rituals of awareness, patience, discipline, reflection, and confidence. These are not talents you're born with. They are skills you train daily. Neuroeconomics proves that your brain is programmable. Wiring can be rewired. Instincts can be upgraded. Habits can be transformed, and that transformation is what separates amateurs from masters. As Mark Douglas taught, the consistency you seek is in your mind, not in the markets. This video was not about charts or indicators. It was about conquering the one opponent that matters most, yourself. Now the choice is yours. Will you continue letting loss aversion crash your trades, or will you start programming rituals that build resilience, patience, and mastery? Dear friend, start building the trader's mindset today. Subscribe to the Trader Mindset channel and join a community committed to turning psychology into profit and fear into freedom. Your journey starts now.